The reason why I chose brachial grass aside all the other grass that is available is the resistance of droughts, right? So I don't know where you're watching me from, but in Ghana, or in West Africa, we have two seasons, which is the dry season and the rainy season. In the dry season, for about 4 to 6 months, there could be no rain, right? And I've experienced this because I've been growing brachial grass for years. And if you go and see a brachial grass in the dry season with no rain for 4 months, the leaves, everything is still fresh. The growth will decrease, but I can promise you that it will always be fresh and you can always cut it and feed it. If you plant brachial grass in the rainy season, every 4 to 6 weeks you will be able to harvest it. In the dry season, you're looking at maybe 10 weeks to 12 weeks before you can harvest it. So definitely your production will reduce, but the grass never dies and it's still, the leaf are still there and it's still green as compared to all the other grass that are available. I'm sorry guys, but it seems like I lied to you. I lied to you because over the years I have been preaching brachial grass being drought resistant. What that means is that during the dry season, brachial grass doesn't dry. But that hasn't been the case for us this year. And I feel like I owe it up to you guys to show you and tell you what I am going through. For the past 2 years, I have been growing brachial grass and I have never seen it dry in the dry season. And that is why you guys saw me always talking about it. But this year has been very different. Our brachial grass is drying. And I want to take you guys on the field and show you exactly what is happening and how dry that is and what we will have to do about that. So come along with me. If you have brachial grass, if you're thinking about buying brachial grass, I want us to be able to go through this experience together and understand the plan that we have, because its nutritious content hasn't changed. It's all about management. So come along and let's show you what is happening at the farm. So basically here we are on the 11 acres of land, and I'm sure you guys remember the land that got burnt, right? I'm doing also the goat pen on the 11 acres of land, and I want to really show you what I've been talking about, which is this brachial grass dying, right? So let's go down and let's show the theme. So last year or 2 years ago, brachial grass was completely fresh, but this year we are not seeing the same thing. And that's why I feel like I've lied to you guys, and it's my responsibility to tell you guys the truth and everything that I experienced. Of course, if you Google brachial grass anywhere in the world, it tells you that it is drought resistant. And that is what I experienced the past 2 years. This year is not the same thing. And you might be asking yourself, why? Is it because it stopped raining earlier this year, or what is even the issue with it? The secret to it, and what I'm realizing is, it's not because it stopped raining early, and it's not because it also isn't drought resistant. In fact, it is. The only issue here is science, and I want to break it down for you guys. So last year during the rainy season, my equipment broke down, which is the mower that I used to cut the grass, broke down. So by the end of the rainy season, I couldn't harvest the brachial grass. So if you look at this grass, you could see that they are still very tall. What happened to a plant when it has a lot of leaves and stems to feed? Meanwhile, there is no water or nutrients to be able to feed the plant with. And that is why the grass is becoming brown, right? So the secret to what I've learned is that right before the dry season, you actually need to cut it so that in the dry season it doesn't struggle a lot to feed it, because it doesn't have enough water, enough nutrients to feed a lot of the branches. So imagine it this way, like you're transplanting a grass, right? You mostly want to cut the top so that you have a very short stem, because you don't want a grass that's now coming up to try and feed a lot. And that's why when we're transplanting anything, we transplant them the moment they grow to a certain stage. Because if you try to transplant a whole tree, what happens? The tree dies because it's new, it's not well settled, and it can't feed it. This brachyra seed, as it's going into the dry season, you want to make sure that you've harvested it. And then in the dry season, it doesn't put a lot of pressure on it so that it can grow well for you. And that is what I didn't do this year and why I am facing this issue. As you can see, we are going to actually cut this grass tomorrow, hopefully. And then once we cut it, I will show you guys a video of how is it when we cut it, were we able to use it? Is it possible? Because at the moment it is struggling because it's not going to rain for the next maybe 2 months, and I don't want it to continue struggling. I'd rather cut it so that the moment it rains, it actually sprouts again. So I'll come back tomorrow and show you guys exactly how we are cutting it and how it looks, if it's possible for us to use it, or maybe we just cut it, throw it away, and allow the grass to grow the moment it rains. So I'll see you tomorrow with a continuation of this video. So we actually did cut the grass, and to your surprise, when the grass fell down after we've chopped it, it didn't look dry like you saw yesterday when it's standing. So basically, let me grab this. If you look at this grass, it's actually really dry, right? And we've dried it the whole day because it's in the dry season. We didn't want to keep it for 2-3 days. We dried it for 1 day, and we are actually able to build. This is a very quality grass. You can see this is very fresh. This is also brown. This is how you want your hay to look like, right? So I am very surprised because I thought when we actually cut it, it was going to look very bad. Look at it. So as you can see here, whilst this is standing, it looks very dry, but the moment you cut it, it's really good. And as you guys can see, we have built most of it. Come here, let me show you one bill. So if you look at this bill here, there's nothing like a dead grass in here. So this is a perfect bill. So you have some fresh ones, but it's still very dry. See, it's broken, right? We have brown ones, which is the perfect, again, you want the golden color of your hay. And now you see, it's actually working. So it is not as bad as we thought it will be. So today we are baling the whole thing and basically going to pack it. It is amazing. I am very surprised that in this dry season where people are selling their cows and not having food, we still have a brachyra grass that we can harvest and bale, and it's like we have food in abundance in the dry season whilst others are hustling, right? So I think this is really, really good. Like, I am super impressed with the quality of this grass that we have here. And it is, I wasn't expecting this extra feed, you know, even though I know we have enough food to last us till the rain season. This is definitely going to be a plus for us. And I know some of, we are having a goat consignment probably coming end of January or February. So I will actually be able to give most people that have ordered some of the goats as well, you know, because as I always say, once the goats arrive from South Africa, you want to make sure you're giving them dry hay and not wet food. So, and most people don't have dry hay, so that's when I actually give out some of the brachyra grass that we have as hay. So with this new bills and work we're doing, I'm very confident I'll be able to give most of you that are watching me that have ordered Boer goat, Savannah, and so from us. We also gonna enter the rainy season in March. So if you haven't planted your grass, whether it be in alfalfa, brachyra grass, Bermuda grass, whatever it is, plant it. Let's grow the feed, because without the feed, there is no future for your business. And if you don't see a future in the business, then you're playing. You're just wasting money. So I hope you guys will listen to me and start growing your animal feed as well. This is exciting, and I don't know what to tell you guys again, that I'm happy to have this extra food. I didn't have hope when I came to see the grass, how dry and difficult it was struggling to get food. But now that we've harvested, I think it's just gonna sprout. And then let me even show you something. We harvested this grass yesterday, but come down here. Look at this grass. It's already sprouting, and it's sprouting green. This is what I'm talking about. So if you cut this grass, that means that you give it opportunity to grow and be drought resistant. It's not dying. The local grass is not gonna come out like this, right? But if you allow it to grow this tall in the dry season, then it has to feed all this stem, which is a lot of work for a grass that's not getting any water from here, right? So this is a perfect example. This is what you want to do before the rainy season stops, so that in the dry season you still can have this to a certain level and be able to cut it and still process food. So this is a good example. And I mean, you can see, look at this. This hasn't sprouted, but it is coming. You can still see this green grass coming out. And this was just cast yesterday. So imagine if it's rainy season, you would definitely see this grass growing back within 3 to 4 weeks. This is the beauty of brachiaria grass, and that's why, aside all the other grasses, I have chosen to use this grass for my fodder. I mean, alfalfa definitely has higher protein, but you don't have this kind of experience in the dry season. You know, and in Ghana, as the dry season is for about 4 months, 3 to 4 months. So you really want to make sure that you have something that is going to work through that. Otherwise, there will be a lot of pressure in the rainy season. Yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you've learned something. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you haven't. And if you find this video helpful, write in the comment section and let me know. Thank you so much, and I will see you in another video.